Hi guys, my name is Lanza. We are gonna do some questions and answers regarding the DOT SAP program. I am a qualified SAP assessor. I also work with other providers. We serve all 50 states. Description below to reach us or to call me, text me um, on our website. But what is the DOT SAP program? The DOT SAP program is a federally mandated process for employees who have violated drug and alcohol testing regulation under the DOT. And this could be anything under the sun. If you have violated, if you have refused or tested positive for any drug test or over the limit with an alcohol, then this applies to you. Okay. And sometimes your story might be different. That's where SAP comes in to hear you out with your story. What is going on? What's the issue? What happened? Because you may not have any issues and you may have ended in a situation where unfortunately you were reported to the clearinghouse, and that's something you can talk to with SAP. What does SAP stands for? SAP stands for Substance Abuse Professional. It is a qualified person who can evaluate you for drug and alcohol, and who can get you to return to duty process. Okay. And let's see. Who needs to go through the SAP process? I've already said it. Failed a drug test or alcohol test, refused to take a test, or was late to a test, whatever happened, and violate DOT drug and alcohol rules. Okay. And what happens during the SAP process? There are 6 things that happen. Initial SAP assessment, 1. 2 is treatment recommendation or education that you have to complete. It's one or the other. It cannot be, you cannot be just skip that part. That is required. And then you have to complete your education or your treatment, and then you have to do a follow-up with your SAP. Come back to me, and then you have to go in for a return to duty drug test once you are cleared with your SAP, and that has to be negative. And then your SAP me will come up with your testing plan. If you're a low risk, very isolated incident, then you might be recommended at least six minimal drug tests within the 12 months after violation, but follow-up can go up to 5 years. But that's not something for you to worry about. That is done by your employer, or if you are self-employed, a consortium. Okay. This is the question I get asked every time somebody calls me. Every time. Earthon. How long does the SAP process or program take? It depends. It depends, guys. If you are low risk, if you are don't have any issues, and that is what you report to your SAP, then it could be that you could be done with the program within literally 2 to 3 days if you move through everything that you have to do quickly. But if you have serious substantial substance use issues, you could be looking at treatment, you could be looking at counseling. Really depends on what your issue is and your history. Okay, so call us up, me, and tell me about what is going on, and then we can determine what kind of recommendation that you will possibly need. How much does the program cost? Again, every SAP is different. It is typically between $400 to up to $800. You are lucky if you work with me because we are on the lower end. Because right now we charge $399. You don't find that many places. If you choose to work with us, but keep in mind, it does not include our fee, at least the one I told you right now, does not include your education or treatment cost or any kind of drug or alcohol testing that you will have to do. And you are typically responsible for all the costs unless your employer is willing to pay for you if you're still employed by them. What happens if I don't complete a SAP program? Well, if you cannot return to your DOT sensitive job, if you don't, really that's where you have to decide, is this worth it for me? Is this, because this is your career, this is how you make a living. If it is, then you're gonna want to go through it. You have to make that decision for yourself. That is very personal, and kind of do analysis of benefits and risks and what will work for you and your family. But if you have questions, give me a call. Let's talk through it and see what might be beneficial to you, because I might have some ideas, and just kind of brainstorm things if you're not sure. What is return to duty test? A directly observed drug test or alcohol test that must come back negative. When I say directly observed, I mean directly observed. I have had people say, whoa, I did not know that somebody was going to be in there, and they end up refusing, and guess what? There's a violation for that, because it has to be observed, and somebody's going to be in there with you, same sex typically, but be prepared for that, okay? What is the follow-up testing? After you have been cleared and have gone back to work and started, doing your thing, SAP does require, there's a minimal, like I told you earlier, a minimum of 6 unannounced tests in 12 months that your SAP will recommend. And sometimes, depending on your case, it could go up to 5 years that you have to take drug tests to make sure you're negative and you're not going to be using, Does the SAP program clear my record? No, the violation stays on your record in the FMCSA clearinghouse until the process is complete. Okay? Even after completion, employers can see the violation for, I believe, up to 5 years. And that is it for today. Thank you.